All right, ladies and gents, game number 2. This is Nomad, catching up to live time here. And it was on Socotra, so a very different map than this. Here we've got Nomad. I think they used the Wandering Warriors Cup version of Nomad here, but I could be wrong on that. The fact that it's landlocked gets me excited. I feel like landlock it makes Nomad a little bit more interesting. Or let me just rephrase that. The potential for a landlock. The fact that it can happen from time to time, or there be a pond in the middle. There is more adapting if it can happen from time to time. Ladder Nomad is just water's always around the circle, so it's like you always dock, you always go for Navy control. You can sneak some stuff here. And you can make decisions based on your location. Like right now, Margugu, perfect example. He will say, okay, well, my fish are actually pretty safe because I don't see an opponent's dock this whole way through, right? Now, Andy, he's going to be trying to scout the shoreline as well with his cows. Now, he hasn't found anything yet, and it's unlikely he is going to find anything early on, it seems. But yes, Andy's playing as the Burgundians, a civilization that could be very good if they get their economy rolling. They can get their eco upgrades one age earlier. But I'll be honest, Nomad's not really a map where you even have the lumber camp at the same time, right? Where you're seeding as many farms. So I kind of like Koreans here. I think having safe fish and knowing that the fish are likely safe is a huge, huge thing here for Margugu. And if he could find enough resources, I would want to see him go fast castle and war wagons here, honestly. Oh, I thought he shot that with his TC. He's actually just going to finish the water buffalo and then go on to the rhino. But yeah, as for Andy, he's got stone and gold around. He's got food as well. Like, there's no shortage of food. But again, it is a question, especially in this tournament. How are you using your civilizations and how comfortable are you with them in certain positions? I'm not sure that the bonuses for the Bohemians, or Burgundians, excuse me, necessarily shine all that bright. So I face the loser this series, right? So I kind of rooting for Andy to win here today. I was thinking I'd prefer to face Margugu, but Margugu has looked incredibly crisp. He's had the perfect start. He didn't have to get loom. He's got 3 fishing ships versus 2. He's got 13 villagers versus 12. So he's faster to vill production and fishing ships. That's pretty significant on Nomad. I also lost a cow here, so he's assuming that the dock is over there for Andy. It's actually not. Andy's fish are in this little nook here. Yeah, like Andy's start has been far from crisp here. Let's just say that. Just not getting these timings right. What's the long-term plan for Margugu? Still doesn't know where the enemy is. There's a chance the enemy could be towards the south, let's say. And that would mean a fast castle could be considered risky. But the thing about Nomad, guys, is your woodline is usually your woodline is always next to your TC if you're TCing properly, right? And that's a really crucial resource. So it's usually fight for water, or it's fight in Castle Age, because not having the woodlines accessible to really raid with scouts or archers, it typically limits the amount of aggression you can do. All right, so Margugu, not thinking about a fast castle. He's on his way up already, and again, he lost his cow here. So he actually thinks that that's where the dock is for the enemy. But the enemy is actually here. He's going to walk past this dock. So Margugu just wants to go kill the opponent's fish. It's an interesting choice. He's going to see the house here, and Andy's going to see him. And I think if this dock doesn't end up going down for Margugu, his advantage could kind of slip away here. Look at Andy. This is Andy's point of view. Did he not find that dock? He might have scouted that early on. Kind of interesting. I'm not really sure what he can see. But Margugu wants to get the dock down. The beautiful quick walls. Delete the palisade so you can get the wood for this. He's going to drop the dock. He can't drop the dock. What's happening? I mean, already the timing on this is kind of screwed up, right? You would have wanted your dock to go up already. And this is giving some time for Andy to add a few more villagers, add a few more fishing ships, and he's on the way to the next stage. And now Andy knows. Now Andy knows my opponent's trying to contest on water here. So you could just add a second dock, or you could prep to make Navy. We do have a dock here from Margugu. So maybe this villager's just given up. But res collected. Looking pretty fair and even right now, I'm sure. Margugu ahead. But I expect things to even out a little bit there. This villager's just on a quick wall journey. But still, it's not a bad play for Margugu to try and find the fish, locate the fish. Right now, Andy's probably thinking, well, I guess he's not going to be able to kill my fish. And he's just now ventured out for more fish here, thinking this villager can't, as the Margugu quick walls continue, thinking this villager kind of failed his job. And now suddenly your fish are under pressure. Also, I think it's worth it to delete these palisades. That's a house worth of wood. Right? So I mean, he's focused on other things, but I would suggest it. So Andy's going to back away. Remember, Koreans can't get demos. So Koreans not being able to get demos could present some problems. This villager's just chilling over here. And the fishing ship's looking less efficient by the minute for Margugu. So important that he gets rid of freaking Andy's fishing ships. It's triple dock for Andy. Sorry for all the dinging. I have to click the docks, and then the ships also ding, and then yeah, it's just a lot of dings. It's 2 fire galleys, soon to be 4 for Margugu. It's 0, soon to be 3 for Andy. And this guy's just going to loop on home. There's no wolves on Nomad. So yeah, I think this has worked out for Margugu. Castle Age times will probably depend on how much food they're able to bring in amongst everything else here. Nice moment here from freaking Andy on the defense as he's just repairing the ships. And Margugu's going to have to pay attention to this. This would be a 6-8 for Andy, right? Because he's got 3 docks producing. And oh, he's even using the fishing ship. Beautiful, beautiful job from Andy to stabilize here. He's got a lot on wood at the moment. He's got to spend that in some way. But I'm sure he is with the ships, right? Margugu stopped producing Navy. Not producing any more. Only 4 fishing ships, which are getting more inefficient by the second, like we said. And still 5 fishing ships working for Andy. Yeah. Like, again, I personally feel like... Now, we don't know how good Margugu thought the start was for Andy. Right? So he's going to assume that the starts are pretty much even. And he's thinking a lot of thoughts like Koreans struggling, no eco upgrades, Burgundians have this and that. But honestly, what I really liked with the positioning of the fish, just to go fast castle, get some war wagons out. If you want to get on water later, maybe you could go for a turtle ship or 2, right? You absolutely don't want to lure the opponent to your own fish, though. He's got to produce back here. And freaking Andy having a freaking good time again with some good micro on water here. Impressive. Saves another ship. He has not lost a unit. Dang. I really thought that Margugu was going to be able to snowball this with his advantages, but freaking Andy's played very well in the defense, and that villager's got a hit with his hammer. There's another villager here. This is the weak villager from earlier. Andy distracted here. Margugu will defend. And then here, freaking Andy's still focused on the defense. Let's look at food ecos. There's the market. We've got berries. We've got deer. Okay. Here we've got berries. We've got cow. Both players market. There's blacksmith. Again, 6 fishing ships. 6 fishing ships versus 4 right now. Game's still very even. If Koreans had demos here, they could pop out with a demo and then bam, suddenly, you know, there's not as big a concern. That's what Andy needs. I think Andy, in this choke point, dude, you got to add a demo. There's no counter to demos available for Koreans. They only are going to make their own fires. So just, I mean, technically speaking, you could make galleys, right? But obviously that needs mass, and you're in a tight space. You can't really micro them. And yeah, there's a demo. I really like that idea from freaking Andy. Margugu leaning heavily on the market. He actually sold all of his stone. He's going to mine some of it back. And he clicks up to Castle Age here. So it's unlikely that going for water superiority is going to be an easy thing for him here. And now he's YOLOing everything onto stone for a castle. Still really like the idea of a castle drop. Because Koreans on Nomad, they kind of have that opportunity. You don't typically see that land pressure with archers and scouts and whatever would happen in a normal game. At least at high elo. It's just very much out of meta. Nice demo hit there. That's a beautiful demo hit, actually, and amazing defense from Andy. He now has full water superiority, and he clicks up to Castle Age 2. Okay. Never noticed the dog dinging until T90 points it out, then it drives me crazy. Sorry, but I just can't not talk about it because it drives me crazy, and I have to vent to you guys, you know? So, what does Margugu see? I'd like to see a villager making an outpost here. He's trying to micro his ships, but that's not going to be very helpful at this point. I don't know if he has Town Watch or not. It feels like he does not. Holy crap, man. He's got 15 on stone. I feel like this is more efficient than 10. or more inefficient than 10. But I guess he spaced them out nicely. Nomad rules are you always want to make the castle on their face if you're faster to Castle Age. He won't know he's going to be faster to Castle Age. Here he comes. Margugu knows. I like it a lot. Here we go. You can also make turtles. He's going to make a turtle. Okay, you drop this, and Andy might need to deny this with a tower. There's the castle. Deny with a tower, Andy. You have to stop it, right? Or can you back up here? Oh, it's so tricky. Margugu's not sending all the vills. Truthfully, I think if he tried for the tower, it wouldn't have worked. Because more vills would arrive. This would finish. You could tell Margugu thought I need to send more. He might deny it with the tower, then didn't see the tower, and then just said, oh, I'm okay with what I've got. Okay, turtle ships. They really pack a punch. They're super expensive, though, especially when war wagons cost wood and cost gold. And food eco is not really there for Margugu. And he's going to drop his own castle right behind this. He is walled this way, which is quite nice. He still has access to gold, wood, and some food. And he's going to upgrade his ship so he can kill this turtle ship. It's so important he keeps his fishing ships alive. So he's got to back away now, and he's doing it. Ooh, nice micro. Ooh, really nice micro. Oh, wow, man. Andy's done so well with his fires this game. Now, war wagons just cost wood and gold, which is nice. When you... Whoa. Okay, we're good. Sorry. I don't know if you heard anything. It's not important. So that's really nice in these all-in situations. What's also nice is getting the ranged upgrades is going to affect your towers and your castle, too. So I think Andy doing the right thing here. He's going to have Rams coming out. And if he just holds from this, it does feel like Margugu will really struggle to keep this castle up. The difference between the two unique units is that freaking Andy has a unit which is a melee unit, which does more damage versus siege. So there's potential for the ram push for Andy. Not as much potential for Margugu. Margugu could potentially add siege behind this. But he doesn't know about it. He doesn't expect it at all. He actually wants maybe more towers. Because he's got freaking Andy freaking squished in here, you know? I guess this is really awkward to move around. In fact, Andy's not going to have wood soon. Dude, this is epic. This is sick. This is also not walled. So you will need units for those wagons soon. Holy cow. Okay, nice job from Margugu. But he's going to be shocked when the Rams show up. I love how patient Andy's been with it. Look at Andy's eco. He's got nothing on wood. There's tons on food, though, and it's tons on gold. And that's really what he needs for the army he's making. Watch this. Rams go in front, and then he's going to follow with 2 petards. That's going to help a lot here. But he also needs army here at the same time. So he sends the Coustier. There go the petards. He actually really screwed that one up. Because the Rams weren't being aggroed anymore. But that castle will drop for Margugu. There's no doubt about it. So I think Margugu is still okay here. Like, I think the towers are actually bringing more value than the castle is at this point. And I think he can just drop a defensive castle at his base. He's got room to expand. And I think maybe a few monks could be helpful. And this is still not an area that's all that good for Andy. Andy's going to have to come forward for wood, but you'll notice there's not a ton of wood. And villagers are just so ready to chop some trees. There they go. Still are, is the occasional turtle ship which will move out, but that won't accomplish much. But look at the damage that Margugu is able to find. And this castle is perfect. It just protects yourself from the incoming units. I guess the units for Andy's they're not going to counterattack. They need to take out the towers. Great job from Margugu. Andy didn't notice this though. These things just slaughtered the eco. 5 villager kills. And Margugu and Andy in a pretty close game here, but I think I prefer Margugu's position. He could still make wagons. He can make more villagers consistently. He doesn't have half his economy running around. There's the TC for Andy. And he's going to realize that that's not so good for him once he sees this castle's here. I think we're just going to see a tower on the other end of the wood line from Margugu to deny the wood. What a messy game, man. He now has 22 villagers on stone. You gotta love Nomad, dude. Nomad is so crazy. I love it because you get to see unique units a lot. The game's very map control oriented. It's really unique map. Yeah, and that's just the perfect play for Margugu. It's easy for me to say when I'm casting, but in the game, it's harder to make these decisions. And even just this. Just like the random walls. I mean, not so random, but anything to keep freaking Andy preoccupied is super important. And he's not going to enjoy the fact that there's war wagons underneath his TC and there's guard towers there. Not going to enjoy the fact that the war wagons are actually still holding their own here either. If I know Margugu, he will try and pop a villager out on the right side and repair this. Yeah, again, he's probably distracted with other things, but yeah, he's just like, anything I could do to keep this alive for a little bit longer. Okay, so Andy's in trouble. He's soon going to be able to build a castle. The thing is, where do you build the castle? You want this castle, and he takes out the tower. You really want this castle to be somewhere offensive, ideally. But if not that, maybe you have to opt for the defensive castle. Maybe more along the lines of here. Because if you castle here, then you're protecting a lot of economy behind that. I mean, these villas got to make a run for it, though. Again, when the eco's messy, a wood gold unique unit is so strong, which is why I love the war wagons here. I actually think Koreans are top 8 on Nomad. I know top 8's kind of a weird statement. But, like, I would put Spanish, Malians, Persians, Mayans, Chinese, maybe. A bit tricky, I know, with Mayans and Chinese, but still. Portuguese. We'd have to have a whole conversation. I'm just still trying to think about it. Maybe put Vietnamese in there. Italians. Lithuanians. And then I think Koreans. I don't know how many I just listed. I think they're actually really good. And I think freaking Andy's probably cursing himself for giving his opponent Koreans at this point. You wouldn't say Chinese in a 1v1? Nah, I think they're underrated. I really do. But it might not be top 8. I know why no one plays them, but I think they're super underrated on Nomad. I get the arguments against it, though. Oh, baby. We're going to see a transport ship. Let's go. It's a lovely decision here. So, transport ship's on the way. Capture Age won't snap to the buildings that are producing a unit anymore when I click it. It makes me sad, but I can see it here. Just a couple units to get into Margugu's eco would be epic. Margugu's going to drop a castle, though. And he wants to drop it right where he had the one before. This TC's still been creating villagers for Andy, and he's been losing them. There's the transport. Now, around this time, Andy is going to have the stone for his own castle. Does he just make one defensively here? I think you have to. Like, this is going to be really nice for you. The fact that this raid could happen at the same time this castle situation happens could be interesting. I think you have to try and deny this and drop your own castle and hope to get conversions and send in the rams and just do it all at once here. Okay, Margugo is distracted by this. That's why he didn't immediately react there. He noticed because he lost one Vil. Amazing heads-up play. Defends. But now you've got monks going after wagons. We've got units in the castle from Andy. If he could pop out with the Coustier, he could potentially deny all this. And he gets a couple conversions on these wagons, which will then lead to them killing more wagons. The villagers now need to be quick-walled, but the castle will go up for Andy. He will get some great kills here, and Margugo's castle might be denied entirely. And even if it goes up, guys, it's not going to stay up. Wow! Holy, and the way the Coustier work is their first attack does so much damage. It's 8 plus 20. So even though the wagons are super tanky and it's easy to afford them on wood gold eco, there's a point where maybe the wagons don't feel as strong. So now you've got 2 castles if you're Andy. He still just had 1 town center. Well, okay, he still had this TC, and honestly, he needs to delete it. This TC is killing him, dude. He keeps sending villagers out of it, and they're running right through the wagons. But Margugo says, I've still got stone for more. He's got so much stone. He's even buying stone. He's going to try again. Now, where are his own monks at right now? They're still at home. I think he's kind of forgotten the monks. It's possible he's worried about units running into his eco, but I think if he had monks, more random villagers, I think his situation would be different. And here comes Andy again. He's got monks and he's got these units charged up. Again, the first attack's going to do a lot of damage. But there are the monks from Margugo. Delete the castle, Margugo. Just delete the castle. Don't lose the stone. Delete the castle. I don't know about that. There's 3 rams. You can't stop the rams. Okay, deletes it. Just nomad things. What a game, guys. This game is insane. Because there's long-term gold problems for freaking Andy. They both need to get this gold. I guess Andy could go up here. Just crazy pressure the whole way through. And again, another castle gets deleted. Oh, man. I think freaking Andy's going to do it. There was a period here where he didn't have wood. It was that bad. But through conversions here or there, through good engagements with a really strong unit with the Coustier, he's been able to push all this back. Now, he doesn't have the stone for a castle. That would be epic in this moment. But he's going to drop a town center there so he can breathe again. And another defensive castle for Margugo, who maybe just needs to settle it down and play defense and economy for a second. What, can we look at the stone collected? 4,200 stone collected. He's had so much of it. But he lost 2 castles, basically, right? The one never completed. But he lost that castle when it was at 98%. Honestly, I think he had the right idea. But I think that's a situation where you just castle this hill. You don't place it in the guy's face. Oh, man. Ballistics is in. A lot of the units could go down for Andy. I don't think he was expecting that castle to be up. And he got in too deep. And now he's finding out the hard way. Oh, man. Hold on. Just when you think Andy's going to take it, suddenly there's no castle for Andy to be able to defend this position. And this could swing right back. It should swing right back, in my opinion. Like, this is the moment for Margugo. The wagons is how you win this game. And you got to just hope there's no castle here. Here he goes. You have no way to defend this many wagons. And all those villagers will be exposed. Margugo goes in. He sees the monks. The wagons are clunky. Okay, great job. Man, you could just tell how annoying it is to use wagons. Great conversions from Andy. I would be buying stone if I were Andy. Trying to get a castle on the hill. Because this is a worrying amount of army. Especially with ballistics in. That's good micro from him. Oh, Margugo, you're crazy, dude. You're crazy, but I love it. It's brought us an amazing game. Make a decision here, Andy. Do you go after the castle or do you go after the war wagons? He obviously is going to have to kill the war wagons. The rams get house walled out. The siege workshop might need to be deleted so the rams can path around. What is this game? Margugo backs away from another castle. There's still not the biggest army for freaking Andy, but he's still got a continuous stream of units. Another cat. Delete it, Margugu. Third time's not the charm here. Maybe it's the fourth or the fifth time. Holy crap. I still think Margugu can win. Just place a castle next to your wagons and deny that gold, maybe. There's still gold here for Andy. Andy's done a great job keeping population flowing throughout this. Also, just hasn't even left the position. But now he's maybe thinking that he could drop his own castle. He's been getting good upgrades, and Margugu's got to be thinking, man, what more can I do? As he's found more stone, he's found more gold. The guy hasn't gone over 20 on food this entire game. We might actually see Margugu lose hope here and think about tapping out once he sees this castle goes up. Oh, man. He's trying another castle. He deletes another castle. I've never seen someone cancel or lose so many castle foundations in the same game. I have to go back and do the math on it. What was that, like 5 now? 4? At least 4. Oh, wow. What a fun game. And what a fun hold here from freaking Andy. He's had the monks healing up his units. He's been streaming in the rams. He's got full armor now. And these things just chew in that first engagement. And then you could back away to your castle if there's ever any doubt. And back away to your monks. And the monks have more range than the war wagons. And that is the end. That was a great Nomad game. I hope people enjoyed that one. And, you know, Margugu, he had some epic moments. So we can't really say that, you know, we can't be too critical of any decisions he did or did not make in this game, truthfully. But it was epic defense from Andy. I mean, Andy got castle dropped. And yes, he had the eco lead. Yes, he just had some fishing ships, but he did not have space, man. There was a period he could not take wood. And then he turned that into denying as many castles as he did. Now, if we really want to break it down, okay? So we obviously remember this castle. That was the initial castle. Okay. So right around here, like you see your opponent's TC, right? You're kind of denying it. You still got the tower up. Honestly, I think the approach from here should just be wagon numbers. And, you know, what we end up seeing is you've got 9 wagons, 2 monks, 3 Coustier, no monks yet for freaking Andy. So I think it is honestly just a classic case of Margugu trying to do too much. I understand the thinking. You're in a tournament. You want to think kill, kill, kill. You're also up against a civilization that has really good economy. But truthfully, like, I think the castle spot he chose to place here actually, it started to complete the comeback for freaking Andy. This castle doesn't need to happen. With this many war wagons and the monks on the field for Margugu, the castle can just go up here. It never gets denied. You never lose the villagers. You hold the gold, and then you can have 2 castles to produce the war wagons. This is a situation in the game where I think Margugu can use the map control and he could take it. But I'm still just flabbergasted at how good freaking Andy played. He took some really good engagements. And at least for this series, where if you'd like to see all the games, you can check the description. And I have the full best of 5 there for those that are watching on the main YouTube channel. At least for the series, it ties it up 1-1. Full context, I am playing the loser of this series this upcoming week in this tournament. So just trying to do some homework and have some fun games. There's the eco collected. Again, that's all on the extras channel if you guys are interested in checking it out. Again, it's in the description. And we're going to move on and cast those games. Great KD from Margugu. He collected 5,000 stone in a 45-minute game. That is something else. And good stuff, good stuff.